this in his fucking DMs. Who do you think you're scaring? And who do you think put the pressure on with your tweets? I'm very happy these videos came out. So now you know all over the world that when we catch terrorists, we torture them. The thing is, bro, I don't think these guys understand, like, this is some criminal liability shit. Like, I think people are very comfortable. I think people are very comfortable and very arrogant about this kind of thing. Like, all it takes is one switch to flip in the minds of some more moderate or more moral people in government for this to turn into a South Africa style situation. And what I mean by that is South Africa has openly stated that any South African national that is a dual citizenship with Israel that went to fight with the IDF, if they ever return to South Africa, will be criminally prosecuted. And I think that's correct, by the way. I think that that is what should happen. I think that that's what should happen in the entire Western world. Straight up. Let's see if they followed rules of engagement. These guys are so arrogant that they think they can just like post snuff films without any repercussions whatsoever. For those of you who said they won't do that, here's France's spokesman confirming that the French justice system is free to prosecute French nationals who went to fight for the IDF in Gaza if they were involved in war crimes. Reminder that France is the second largest origin country for foreign IDF soldiers after the US. Bro, I don't think you guys understand it. Like, I know we dunk on the French all the time. Okay? We dunk on the French all the time. Fine. Fair. Okay? We dunk on the British all the time. I would say the only country that is the country that's least likely to prosecute their fucking war criminals for going and serving and doing war crimes in the IDF is England. Is America and then England. Sorry. I think Germany has a higher likelihood of prosecuting war criminals than England or the United States does. I mean, it's low, like third least likely country though. France is too Islamophobic to prosecute them. They'll throw them a parade when they chase hijabi women during Ramadan. Naive question, but why England? England is like, I mean, England is responsible for Israel existing as a settler colonial project to begin with, and that energy has never changed. England is fucking insane, dude, with Israel. I don't know why they get away with so much. Like, they kind of get lost in the conversation because they're basically seen as like mini America. And obviously no one comes near America on like dick riding Israel. But yeah, England's pretty fucking bad when it comes to defending Israel and dick riding Israel. Seriously doubt the Germans or the French will do anything, Hasan. The West has no moral compass. Why do you expect they will do anything? Are you being naive or hopeful? I'm being hopeful. I'm being hopeful. That's why I said there are always like some moderates or some moral people in positions of power that will push to do the right thing. And I think a lot of people forget that. we are looking at like Macron and other fucking freaks, forgetting that like all it takes is for some judge to be like, no, fuck that. I do have the smoke, actually. Does that make sense? Sometimes that's all it takes. New Pew Research poll on the Israel-Hamas war. Very few Americans, 5% say that the way Hamas carried out his October 7 attack against Israel was acceptable. But a somewhat larger share view Hamas's reasons for fighting Israel as valid, 22%. Responding to a parallel set of questions about Israel, most Americans, 58%, describe Israel's reasons for fighting Hamas as valid, but the U.S. publicly is more divided over Israel's conduct of the war. On balance, 38% say it's acceptable, while 34% say it's unacceptable. These figures include nearly identical shares of Americans who say the way that Israel is responding to Hamas is completely acceptable and completely unacceptable. That's crazy. They're like October 7, unacceptable. Everything after, kind of acceptable, totally acceptable, very acceptable. Oh, God, Americans are so fucking disgusting. A majority of U.S. adults, 57%, say they sympathize, at least to some extent, with both Israelis and Palestinians. In general, Americans express more positive views of the Israeli people than of the Israeli government. Similarly, more Americans express favorable attitudes towards the Palestinian people than toward either the Palestinian Authority or Hamas. Views of the war and its key players vary greatly by age. This is a genocide, and Americans are like finally arriving at the both sides are to blame position. Think about how fucking insane that is. God damn it, the Western world, especially the United States of America, is such a morally bankrupt, disgusting, imperialist, monstrous nation. Holy shit. It took like active genocide for 6 months for Americans to be like, you know what? Maybe both sides are kind of doing their own thing. Like, literally ask them the same question, I'm sure they did, about Russia and Ukraine, and see how different the American attitude is. $2,500 Jews were killed and 250 hostages? What? 2,500 Jews were killed? What number are you working with? If you feel the need to double the amount of Israelis that were killed, maybe you should do a little bit of a fucking, re-examination of why you feel the need to double it up. They weren't all Jews. They were all Israeli, or many of them were Israeli or in Israel proper. There were literally fucking like Palestinian citizens of Israel that were also killed in the attacks. I don't personally believe that it was a good thing, okay? Just to clarify, if anyone has some kind of confusion, okay? But like, come on now. Are you talking about the partition of 1947 and what war crimes are you talking about? The apartheid is a criminal existence, is a criminal enterprise. Israel is an apartheid regime. Israel was an apartheid regime on October 6th. Israel was an apartheid regime on October 7. Israel was an apartheid regime in its inception to the Palestinian citizens of Israel, and then after 1967 to all of the Palestinians in occupied Palestinian territory. It has been one for 75 years. October 7 did not happen out of nowhere. It happened as a consequence of Israel consistently killing Palestinians. October, according to Euromed Health Report, I believe it was Euromed that covered this. On October 6th, there was a report that came out that dictated, okay, that the year 2023 was the deadliest year for Palestinian children. Why was it deadly for Palestinian children? Not as a consequence of natural disasters or something like that. It was the deadliest year for Palestinian children because Israel was killing them. What's whack about these people is they start off saying this misinformation, then if you barely press them, they instantly get Islamophobic. Yes, And in many instances, Islamophobia plays a major role in the way that people make up their minds about this kind of thing because it's confusing to them. Islamophobia is a very powerful way to justify the war on terror, which was an abject disaster, right?